Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl True, and I am back with a story, not an actual divine message, but I want you guys to really sit down and I want you guys to really listen to this story and apply it to your life, okay? I'm gonna just talk about basically a little bit about my poly experience, my poly life, and my past. I hope I don't get like all over the place within the story, but I just want to just make some things aware and make some key parts out there. For whatever reason, my spirit team wants me to create this video, so I'm here. I tried to create it before, but for whatever reason, the whole sound in the video went out. Literally the whole sound. Which lets me know that there is some magic that have been done around this situation. But I'm just gonna jump into it. Okay, I'm just gonna jump into it. So you guys know I'm in my 30s, okay, mid 30s, and I've been poly since my first poly relationship was at 18, 19. Okay, and I dated a married couple, which I'm still cool with them, still friends with them. Then I had another poly relationship. I had three kind of serious poly relationships. My second poly relationship was with a younger couple. They had like a lot of drama and stuff. I'm still cool with them as well. I'm still cool with the women and the man. But we're gonna fast forward to my last poly relationship where it just was the weirdest situation I've ever experienced when it came to poly dating and how it panned out. Okay, all of the other relationships, I kind of left them, but we were still cool. You know, it was my own personal thing. You know, I was ready for something, another level, right? I've never been poly where like I had my man and we brung somebody in. I always would like join somebody else's relationship. And that was like my personal preference at that time. But anywho, we're gonna fast forward to my last poly relationship. And they reached out to me. I wasn't even on poly or anything like that at that time. And I think it was a Facebook group. It was not a group. Facebook. It was on Facebook. Okay, so it wasn't a group, but it was on Facebook, I believe. Y'all know my memory is bad. Okay, so I want to say the woman reached out to me first, or it was like their joint pages. Okay, but I was like basically with the woman a lot. The woman didn't work. I worked at the time. The masculine, I believe he had 2 jobs at the time. So me and him barely really got to spend time. We barely really got to know each other. Like what I realized is like I was getting to know him through her, but I wasn't really getting to know him for him. So anywho, I would tell her different things, you know, like I've been poly before. My last poly relationship, you know, the woman became a little jealous, so you know, I don't want any of that. She's like, oh no, I'm secure, right? But you guys have to remember, I'm psychic. I always had my spiritual gifts. I've always been highly in tune. I just didn't know how in tune I was, if that makes sense, okay? So while we were there, you know, we're dating, we're doing our thing, it started to get to the point where I felt like she was like trying to keep us separate. So I'm like, well, why me and him can't go on a date? Or why me and him, you know, it was like me and her would always go on a date and then I would just see him at the house type of thing. You get what I'm trying to say? But they were always together and that just didn't sit right with me, right? If I'm like, if we're gonna be poly, we're gonna be equal, you know, in this thing. I wanna date him, date you, like we're gonna date together, right? It all sounds weird anyway, but here nor there, all of that occurred. And it was basically where my spirit felt like it was an issue with me wanting to go out on dates with the masculine towards the end of the relationship. And I would feel different things from her that I would like second guess myself out of, like, no, maybe I'm tripping. No, maybe I'm tripping. I remember my first day going to their house. This is when I should have known she was dibbling in magic and some tricky shit was going on, because I had some crystals in my purse, right? And when I left their home, my crystals were gone. They were no longer in my purse. And I'm like, they didn't fall out. And it was big crystals that I had in my purse. I remember gifting her a rose quartz mushroom crystal that I had got. But anywho, I end up finding the crystals in the top of my closet like way later, right? But that's another story. I remember asking them at that time, like, you know, do they have orishas? Like, how far within their spirituality they were? Do they do any tarot cards? At this time, I wasn't doing tarot cards, you know. I kind of thought that was like the darker end of things. Like, I wasn't as educated as I am now on spirituality and my own spiritual gift, which tarot can get dark. It is a portal to darkness, but you got to know how to use it and how to work with it. So anywho, we're gonna fast forward, and of course, if we're in a relationship, right, and it's two women, I feel like you should do what you can to treat the women equally, which that can't be done, right? So that, like, there's no way for anybody to treat the two. It just can't be done, right? And this is just me, like, knowing things through healing, and somebody is going to have to settle. I'm sorry to say, somebody within a relationship, they're going to have to settle. It's just going to be like that. And then with me knowing how women work, jealousy, envy, I don't even know how I thought that was going to work. But I'm thinking that she was very secure, right? She projected just this, oh, I'm a high priestess, you know, type of energy. I'm secure within my space. Yada, 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 right? So when I felt like, okay, she's secure enough, let's see, you know, let me go out on the dates with him. Like, me and you always go on dates, you and him go on dates, but me and him ain't never been on a date, you know? So we went on our first date, and it wasn't really nowhere. We just went to go get some Jamaican food and some slushies or something. And I will never forget, he came out saying to me, you know, I'm the one that actually wanted to talk to you. And I'm like, what? Like, it just stood out, and it kind of like blew me back, like, because I always think deep, like, with everything. I don't know if it's just the Scorpio within me or what. And I was just like, what? But I still didn't think nothing other. We're gonna go along. We're gonna keep going on with the story. I remember, like, because me and her would always be at the house together. He would always be at work, and she didn't do much. Like, the time that I would be at their house would be my off day. So I would come, I think it was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday was my off days. So I would come Thursday evening, Friday, Saturday, and I come back the next day, right before work, you know. But those times I was always with her. She wasn't really doing much. Like, she didn't do much around the house. She didn't like really cook and clean like that. And I remember asking her, like, girl, make us some food, make some shrimp. She was like, I'm not hungry like that, but I'll make you some, right? So I'll never forget, she made me some shrimp, y'all. And the shrimp was salty as hell. And I ate the shrimp, and I'm like, girl, ooh, taste this. And she didn't want to eat her own food. That should have been red flag number one. So I remember going in the kitchen, getting a bottle of water, and literally putting water on my shrimp to get the seasoning on. It was still salty, right? But I'm gonna tell y'all why this is standing out to me once I get later on down the storyline, okay? So boom, she didn't want to eat the food. It was a red flag. Boom, okay? Now, the time is elapsing, time is going by, and we were only dating, I want to say 3 months. Okay, so the first month, it was cool. The second month, it got shaky. The last couple, 2 weeks in that month, it was like, okay, it's like something is really, really off with her. And I will never forget, she just hit me up out the blue. And she was just like, oh, you know, I don't think we're compatible, da, da, da. So I left it at that, boom. Then they hit me up again, and they came back. My silly self went back to the situation. But when I went back to the situation, it was nothing like the first time I was there. Even though the first time I was there, it was still giving weird vibes. Like, she wasn't really connecting. Like, it was like a pretending to me. And y'all gotta remember, when he told me in the store, he the one who really wanted me, right? I was feeling this, but I wasn't honing in on it. I was lack of self-love, right? So boom, this was my last time. Oh, let me tell you some other stories that happened. So I had a Motivite, which I have another one that was gifted to me. But I had another Motivite that was pretty much this size, maybe like a little bit bigger. And it looked kind of like a scorpion. Like, that was the shape of the Motivite. It was so pretty. But anywho, I remember setting it. They had this little ledge thing on the end of the bed. And I remember setting my Motivite there. It was gone, missing. Something in my spirit was like, no, like, she has my, but I didn't listen, right? I remember I'm in tune, but I'm not listening because she's helping me find it. She's looking around for my Motivite. Boom, never find my Motivite. I feel like she stole my Motivite, okay? But we're going to talk about this, why, later on down the story. Just keep listening, all right? So boom, the shrimp incident happened. I remember some incident happened at like the beach, okay? And then we broke up for like a couple days or like a week, and then she hit me up again, and I went back. When I went back, okay, it was like she didn't want me there, but they asked me. So, but it was weird. Like, he was at work that whole time, and she didn't, like, when I woke up, she wasn't even in the bed. She was out of the room the whole time. and she was in like her kids' room. And I was like, what you doing? She was like, nothing, da, 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 da. And I was like, oh, it's kind of junky back here. You want to clean up? Like that. So she was like, I got it. And she just started to clean up the kids' room. So I started to clean up the front area, the kitchen, and there in the room that we were all in, the adults' room. So boom. But the whole time we were separate. The time when I went back, like we used to smoke, we used to always match. But when I went back, it's like they were acting like they didn't have no tree, they didn't have the money. So I bought it off. I remember, I think he got like a raise or a new job. And I remember like buying a bottle. Mind you, God had already stopped me from drinking. But getting into that relationship, I started to get back into drinking. So to say the least, I end up buying a bottle and buying some tree. I remember she didn't have tree, so she just sitting at the table. But when I called her in to come smoke, like, the energy was just real weird, right? Like it was just weird. Like she was acting like evil, but like fake. I don't know how to explain it. Like it was weird, right? And I remember turning around like this. And when I turned and I think I pushed they had like these chairs in their room. And I remember like turning around and pushing the chair back, and a box flipped over with tarot cards. It was literally like the Rider's Wave, literally, these tarot cards. They flipped over. Mind you, I've been dating them now for like 2.5 months, never heard of tarot. We done meditated together, done yoga together. She never said she read tarot cards, right? Another red flag. So I turned around and I said, you a card reader? Like that. This is before I was into card reading. Like, this is before, and I'm not in no damn card reader. I'm a true healer, but this is before I knew my gifts and stuff, right? So I'm like, and she like I can feel the tension. And she like, something like that. Not really. Like that. And I was like, oh. And my spirit just starts saying shit. Like, you know, can't nobody, it's so crazy because can't nobody get nothing accurate on me, even if they try. And I remember holding myself like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? Now, spirit has me telling y'all about another story. So I think the girl was doing magic on me. I think she knew that, and this is my observation, just me spiritually telling you guys, okay? I feel like she never really wanted me there, but she knew for whatever their past relationship was, maybe she got the girls before and it was his turn to pick a girl or something. I don't know, because I don't know the back end of things. But she was doing what she could to try to push me away. But I just wasn't seeing it. I wasn't getting it. Y'all get what I'm saying? So I felt like my hand is itching. I felt like she started to play in magic, okay? And this is the reason why. I remember doing Amazon Flex, okay? And at this time, what he didn't know is his birthday was coming up. We were dating around September, I think August, September was his birthday. And I remember taking on a second job. He didn't know that I didn't need the second job, but I was taking on a second job to save up for his birthday. Her birthday had just recently passed. And I remember telling her, I didn't tell him anything, of course, because it was his birthday. I remember telling her everything that I was going to put together for his birthday and all this other stuff. And I'm going to tell you guys while I'm talking about this, okay? Because that's when our separation happened, like right before his birthday. And I think it's so I didn't do all of what I told her I was going to do for him. But anywho, but we're going to get to that in another story. I'm kind of all over the place. I hope you guys are like staying in on the storyline. So we were dating, boom. In the midst, okay, it got to the point where I was just like, okay, you're trying to say, oh, you want to marry me too. We're supposed to be building. We were talking about like our goals, our life goals, what we wanted to manifest, what we wanted to build, how we were going to do it. Like, I was putting them on like before like Airbnb was big. Like I was putting them on like so many of my goals, my like what I wanted to build, like just so much, right? So we were like really supposed to be a family and building and all this other shit, right? And I'll never forget, I was doing Amazon Flex to raise money for his birthday. That's what I was talking about. And while I was driving, I still have my same car, check engine light not on. But my check engine light came on out the blue. And I remember calling them like, my check engine light came on, yada, 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 yada. Next thing you know, my check engine light cuts off, okay? It was weird. Like, my car did a little shake, and then the check engine just cut off. Like, my check engine never cut on again. I have no check engine light on my car, nothing. I have not got nothing fixed. This was like almost 2 years ago, okay? And I feel like she was doing magic on me and it was affecting my vehicle. I'm gonna tell you guys why. because that night, I think it was like a couple nights later, I had went home and I was just like fighting off these energies. Like, I didn't know where they was coming from. I just felt like shit. I just felt anger. I just felt, it was like, but now I know that I'm very sensitive to energies due to my spiritual gifts, right? And whether or not you're spiritually gifted, if somebody is sending you magic, it's going to affect your energy. It's going to affect your thought process and so forth. So this week, this time, she was supposed to be coming over, okay? And I remember, like, I just started tripping. Something that she did, I don't know if something, she said something, and I started tripping. And I will never forget, I threw like my hoverboard across my living room. They wasn't there though. I was by myself, okay? I remember throwing my hoverboard across the living room. I remember like socking stuff, like hitting the ground, but I don't know where this energy came from. I don't know, nothing was wrong. My bills was paid, my rent was paid, like I didn't get no, like nothing was wrong. Like I just was tripping, like angry every time I got off of work from delivering those packages. It was weird. She was supposed to come over. For whatever reason, she didn't come. He came over, right? I remember when he came over, all of that energy subsided. Like something just took over. Like I don't know why she didn't come, but he came. Maybe God knew, like, if she come, it may not be pretty because she was the one playing in my energy. Or maybe she told him to come because she knew what the fuck was going on, right? So boom, he comes, calms me down. But I remember sitting on my bed and I was rocking back and forth. I was still in the energy, like I was coming down from the energy. And all I remember saying is, magic is real. Magic is real. Magic is real. In that mist, I don't even remember. I remember saying it like later on down the line. In that time, I wasn't really like in my body to know what I was saying, right? But now I remember saying, like, I was saying, magic is real, magic is real. I was doing a lot of crying, so I don't know if he heard what I was saying, but I was like historic, I was crying, right? Boom, so check. Me and him, he spends the night. I remember, I think she was blowing his phone up, but he was trying to act like it was somebody else, right? And he leaves, okay, he leaves. After that, I think it was like a couple days later, she sends me a text and she was just like, oh, his phone is broke and, you know, we're no longer, you know, we no longer want to move forward, da 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 da, right? Like, I don't think we're compatible. This is her texting me, like, I don't think we're compatible, you know, da 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 da, right? So I'm like, what? So I'm like, where the fuck did this come from, right? Because me and him was just hitting it off, man. I thought we was cool. Is it you? So I just left it alone, like, whatever, right? But let me fast forward. Let me rewind, okay? So I was having a lot of dreams. Like, at that time, I was going through my big spiritual awakening. And when I met him, something about my dreams and my gifts, like, enhanced. I don't fucking know. But I kept getting dreams. Like, I had a dream that I was pregnant with his baby, me and the girl. And I told her this, like, every dream that I had, because he was at work, I only told him about one dream. And this was the girl that, okay, so let me tell y'all. So I had a dream that it was me. I mean, I was there, but I was like not supposed to be there. Like, I was looking in, and it was him, his wife, and another girl. The other girl was like homebody, like she wasn't really like cat weaves. She was like, she just had some locks and they was just like down. They weren't like styled up. So at that time I thought it was like a stem, like not a stud, but like a stem, you know, like one of those women, like that's the vibes she gave me in the dream, and that may have threw him off. But let me tell y'all, it was this, okay. So in the dream, it was the wife orchestrating him for them, the other two, another girl and her husband, to have sex. And he was like bending her over, and he was like, ooh, she's so tight, and yada yada yada, right? And I'm seeing this in a dream, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I remember telling him this when I woke up that rising. That's the only dream I told them. Now all of the other dreams, I just was telling her, silly ass, not knowing who she is. We gonna fast forward this story, okay? So boom. Oh, and then I had a dream. God showed me, like, I went on my phone and it said their names with another girl name in their bio. And it wasn't my name. Mind you, my name was in the bio at the time. So I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I wasn't paying attention to the goddamn dreams, because it wasn't like, Dreams don't just come like boom, boom, boom. Like you gotta really interpret them. You get what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell y'all what I feel like the dream was showing me in a second later on. Okay. So boom, she hit me up. I don't think we should be together. I'm good. I'm like, okay, whatever. But what hit me was not even 48 hours later, all of my pictures is gone off of their profile, and it's a whole nother woman on their profile, like do. And she posted pictures. So I'm like, mind you, me and her didn't get into no argument. We wasn't fighting and tussling. Like, it wasn't none of that. So I'm like, this motherfucker's trying to hurt me? Like, what the fuck did I do to what? So they just like blew me, right? It just blew me. So I'm looking at the woman, I'm like, and I say this with love, like she was a queen, we're all queens, but it's levels to this shit. And I say that with love. You can tell financially wasn't on my level, energetically not on my level. So I'm like, I think she just wanted a pushover. Like she knew I was too headstrong and she couldn't handle that, okay? So boom, all right, my skin is lighting up, or I'm looking, I don't know, I just look real sexy right now. So boom, okay. Remember, it was his birthday. I don't know what they did. It didn't seem like they did, but remind you, I had almost 2 racks saved up for him. I had this bomb-ass watch because he loved watches. I was going to buy him. I had the hotel room reserved. I had a nice fancy restaurant for us reserved. Like, because she was going to help me. I had put her in on. I was like, I need you to help decorate the room. You know, I said, I'll pay for everything. You can just say you did it too. Like, just help me with decorating everything. And I remember her texting me back like, oh, you trying to steal my heart or something like that. And it was like a saying. And I was like, what you mean? And she was like, oh no, it's just like you trying to steal my heart over. But it was weird because everything that I was doing was for him, for his birthday. So I was just like, what? But boom, now that she break up with me right before his birthday, boom. They with another woman, not even 48 hours later. Boom. That means y'all been had to be talking to this woman. Weird, right? Like, and then they're married at that. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on, right? So at this time, I'm trying to get them out of my system. I'm not dreaming about her no more. When I was with both of them, she would be in the dreams too. But as I separated from them, I would just dream about him. And I couldn't, like, I've never had no shit like that happen to me. Like, once I break up with motherfuckers, they gone. Like, I ain't never dreamt, like, it wasn't, but I kept dreaming and I thought I was crazy. So I remember back in that day, I was like looking at candle magic, all this other shit. And it was like this cord cutting. And it was this girl who was talking about how to do a cord cutting. If you feel like you have a soul tie or karmic energy that you want to release, this is how you release them, right? Boom. So I remember writing out, God, please release this person from my life. Da, 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 da. I remember doing the cord cutting, right? I tell you guys, no lie. I put my right hand to the Bible. If I'm lying, I'm motherfucking flying, y'all. I seen this man walking down the street the next day. Mind you, these motherfuckers got a car. Well, I don't know if the car was broken. I don't know. I seen him, y'all, walking down the street. I feel like that was the universe trying to tell me something, but I wasn't paying attention. Now, when I seen him, I'm just driving Miss Daisy. I'm listening to my music. I got my son in the car. And I seen, I'm like, that walk, like I've always knew, like body structures, walks, you can be 1,000 miles away. But if I met you before, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's woo, just by they walk, by their body structure. I don't know. So as I'm getting closer, I'm like, that's him. Something say loud to me. Do not cuss him out. Pull over and talk to him. Y'all, I couldn't do it. It was like an energy took over me, my whole body. And I just start cussing him out. And I'm like, what the fuck? So mind you, the tea was, I was on my way to my homegirl house, Candace, okay? And she stayed the next block over from their house. Mind you, Candace been staying there. I was dating him. I didn't even know my friend was on the next block. But just so happened, she hit me up, hey, True, we cooking seafood, come over. So I'm going over there. Like, you see how the universe aligned that? And that's how I see him walking down the street. Boom. Now, we gonna fast forward. I'm like, what the fuck? I tell my homegirl, I'm like, this shit weird, dog. I just seen this motherfucker walking down the street. Like, but I'm not thinking on no spiritual level. I'm still thinking 3D level at this time, okay? Like, I'm not thinking further than I'm trying to get this motherfucker out of my energy. Like, why I keep meeting up with this motherfucker? It must be a coincidence. Ain't nothing a fucking coincidence, y'all. Nothing is a coincidence, okay? So, boom, boom, bada. Okay, my skin, something just switched up because Like, as I'm telling this story, I'm even feeling like some things lift off of me. It's so fucking weird. Anywho, so, bam, y'all. Boom, 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 boom. I'm still dreaming about bro. She astro projects. Okay. So this was my first time. I remember having, and my homie, he remembers this too. So I had a homie where I stayed in Texas, and he was going through some things or whatever. So he spent the night, and I had him sleep. He was on the couch, and I remember in my dream, it was so, I just got a weird headache right here. That was so weird. It was like boom. So in my dream, she astro projected, and she came to my bed, and she was on the tip of my bed. And it was like, it didn't feel like a dream. It felt like real life, but I was in a dream state. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, but it wasn't a dream. I don't know how to explain it. Like, astral projecting is weird when it comes to you. So she was sitting at the end of my bed, and she was just like, he not going nowhere. Confirmation burp, excuse me. He not going nowhere. I'm not about to lose my husband to you, right? And so excuse me, confirmation burp. So I woke up, mind you, I'm trying to cut this man out of my life. I'm looking around, I'm like, what the fuck? So I tell my homie, right, about the dream, and I'm like, did somebody come? No, that's what I said. Hey, I got up, I said, was somebody in my house? Like, cause the motherfucker felt real, y'all. I tell you, no lie. And he was like, nah, he was like, you good? I said, that was a motherfucking dream. So I'm telling him what happened. And he like, what? But he's spiritual too, just on like a different, like, different level. But he was like, he tapped in. He was like, what? He like, and I'm like, I swear to God, like, it was like she was on my bed. Like, she was in my room. She was on my bed. Like that. Like, I was tripping out, y'all. This ain't that she astral projected to me 2 more times, okay? That wasn't the only time, all right? Boom. So I kept having dreams. I remember having this one dream where I was fighting. I was fighting like this big monster or this demon. And they were sitting back, him and her. This was after the fact, okay? This was like months after. And I'm fighting what looks like a demon. I'm boop, 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 boop. But for like a little minute, at first, like at the beginning, the demon was kind of getting me. And they were sitting at the phone. It was like they were watching me on a video, and they were both laughing at me on the video on the phone. It was weird. So that was one of my crazy dreams that I had. Again, that she was in it. That was the last dream that I had where she was in it, where she and him was looking at me fight these demons, and they was literally laughing. I feel like that was a sign too. I don't know, so look, boom. Now I used to watch this reader, Scorpio Intuitions, and back in the day. Now she switched her reading style up a lot. I feel like, I don't know, like them readings was for me. She used to talk a lot about twin flames. She used to talk a lot about relationships. And at that time, she was basically saying, this dude got an overnight job. And when he's at the overnight job, the karmic is doing magic on you and him, right? And I'm like, nah, this can't be real. Like, I'm just watching these videos, right? Boom. So remember I seen him walking down the street. He inboxes me and he tells me he got another job overnight. I feel like that was another confirmation. I just still wasn't paying attention, y'all. I wasn't paying attention. He was like, yeah, he got a 3rd job or a 2nd job, and it's overnight. He's working more. And I'm like, what the fuck, right? Boom. So he like, hey, can I talk to you real quick? Right? And I'm just like, at that time, I'm like, no, like I'm literally, just because I felt like a lot of weird shit was going on, I'm trying to just get this person away from me. Like after I broke, like I had literally like 6 or 7 flat tires in 1 month. My last 3 tires they gave me for free, because they was like, what the fuck? It must be, what the fuck we give you? They gave me my last 3 tires for free, y'all. I had 6 flat tires in 1 month. I just had a lot of weird shit. Like, it was like, I started to be attacked at my job. Like, they was doing magic for me to lose my job, like, so I can lose shit. But I feel like because of my anointings, because of my protection, I was always straight. Things always, like, it would hit me, but it wouldn't hurt me. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I would see it, but it wouldn't, like how I had to get those tires, but they were free. You get what I'm trying to say? I didn't have to pay for the motherfuckers. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it was things like that happening to me, and I'm like, man, I gotta get this, like, it gotta be something with her. Like, it gotta be something with her, right? Boom. So, he calls me. I remember I was at work, and I'm like, give me time. My hair just going off. I was like, I'm at work, okay? And I wasn't even really trying to talk to him, because you gotta, like, I wasn't, but I'm like, whatever. Let me hear what the fuck he got to say. And I do not remember the phone call. When we ended the call, it said we was on the phone, I think, for like 26 minutes. I only remember like 2 minutes of me saying, she foul, she wrong, y'all wrong, nasty. I just cussed him out again. It was like a trance was over me, and that was not the energy that I operated in anymore. It was so weird. It's like an entity was taking over me, okay? Boom. I don't even remember what the conversation was about. All I remember was cussing him out. To this day, I can't tell y'all what we talked about. I cannot tell you, even if he said something to me or even got a fucking chance, okay? I don't know. But, bam, now time goes along. I'm still having little dreams here and there, but not really anything like, anything that was crazy. She astral projected to me another time, and it was with the young, and this was, I don't know if this was an astral projection. I think this was just an actual dream to show me some things, but it was me, him, her, and that girl, the new girl that they were dating. And basically what happened, the dude and the new girl was on their way for whatever reason to come pick me up, and they were taking me back to the house where the girl was, that the wife was. Okay, I hope I ain't saying no goddamn names. Where the wife was, okay? And in the dream, I remember doing like a lot of questioning, and it was like I was his and the other girls, but I wasn't the wife's girlfriend in that dream. It was weird. The shit was weird. So boom. So I don't know if that was God like trying to say he was maybe trying to talk her into bringing me back in the picture. I don't know what that dream was about. It was just weird. And then boom, she astral projected to me two other times. Those astral projections was nothing. The last one, she was trying to be funny about like my missing tooth. And she was being funny about that. Okay, so I don't know if they had a joke, they used to clown, and he made her secure, but something, I don't know. But she came to me and she was just like, oh, you still won't go the fuck away? And then she was like, something in your breath stank, or something, right? And then the dream just switched. Like she just got out of my dream, and my whole dream just switched, y'all. That was even embarrassing telling y'all that. But look, I told y'all the real. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I don't hold nothing back. So I was just like, what the fuck? Like, that was weird as fuck. Like, so I don't know if he made her secure because of that. Like, I don't want that snagger too, nurse. I don't know what the fuck he said. I don't know. But that was the dream, another dream. And long story short, of course, they're not with the girl anymore. I don't think they're with her anymore. I had a whole dream about that. It's like God showing me everything, like his whole life in my dream. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's crazy. So boom, now we gonna fast forward. I started to do tarot. I started to read cards. And every time I would pick up on this energy of like, you just gotta go back. Like all of my old messages is exactly how it was panning out. Or what it, like, from my, look. Y'all just gotta watch the messages. So boom, I'm still doing messages, and I'm getting messages through the general collective messages, the zodiac signs hitting, and I'm like, hell no, this ain't for me, this for other people. Like, this ain't for me, this for other people, this ain't for me, this for other people. Yeah. I started tapping in. I started to get my gifts. And I got the confirmation that Lil Mama be doing magic. Lil Mama be playing in magic, and that's scary for me because, first of all, I didn't reach out to them. I didn't hit them up. Second of all, I've never reached out to this man. I never text. Oh, I'm lying. After we had our phone conversation, I did inbox him on Instagram because I wanted to know what the fuck happened. Like, I don't remember none of the conversation. And I said, hey, Chantel, I'm like, or whatever the heck their name is. I'm like, hey, do you mind calling me? And they never reached out. They never hit me. And I left it at that. Like, whatever, you do you, I do me. I wanted to know like what the phone conversation was. Now, boom. It was so, and y'all see, I don't lie about nothing. And from there, I never hit the person up, never looked at their page, never tried to like wiggle my way in. Like, that ain't me. Like, I'm not one of those. I know it's weird women out here. That is not me. Like, And I kept like getting these dreams. I'm like, this person is married. Like, I have to really, like, this person is married. That's adultery. Like, but because of my connection to God, God was like, I didn't set that up. That ain't who they, like, this is what I kept hearing. And I'm like, I'm trying to get the thoughts out of my head. I'm trying to get the thoughts out of my head. And this is what gets me to know, you know, how we'll do things out of flesh and we'll hold on to things and we won't see how much these things we are holding on to is not serving us. And I started getting downloads like about their whole life. Like, I know every, like, it's weird, like, and I only feel like this because I feel like now this might make sound crazy because people might be like, he married, how, but I feel like me and him was supposed to meet and do something in this lifetime, because for whatever fucking reason, my love life has been the weirdest it has ever been since I met them. This is the most single I've been. It's like the dudes that do come to me, it's like, God, no, I'm not gonna take them serious. Like, back in the day, like, I would always have, like, even when I met them, like, it would be other people kind of floating around, like, and that could have been the magic that she was doing, but it would be like people trying to date me, a lot of people trying to come in, people with potential. Now I ain't really getting no potential. It's like a whole bunch of narcissists, just very, like, just crazy men. Like, it's just been weird, like, weird, y'all. Like, my love life has been weird. And then, like, I don't know, it's just been weird. Like, I have, in the last 2 years, I have not had a love life. It's like, and I keep telling God, like, I done so much, like, so much healing, so much love. And I'm like, God, what the fuck is it? Like, what the fuck is it, you know? And God is just like, be patient, you know, be patient. Like, my divine counterpart is coming, you know? And long story short, she was doing magic the whole time. I got downloads that she never really wanted me there. Basically, my observation and my divine knowledge is, it was his turn. You know, she picked the women, and he's like, you know what? Let me pick someone. So what she did was kind of like subconsciously make him feel like he has some say so, and he does it even though he's the one taking care of every damn thing. And it's crazy, because she basically only had me there to save my marriage, knowing that she would do and she can control things, to get me away, because she knows him. She didn't know me, but she knew him. And that's where I feel like she knew she fucked up, because of my calling, because of who I am, and because of how tapped in I was, and I didn't even know it. But this is why I tell you guys to be mindful of that poly shit. And I only say that because I did not deserve to go through any of that. If you know deep down inside you really don't like the woman, or you may be intimidated or jealous of the woman, don't even do it. And if you have to do that to save your marriage, then maybe you shouldn't be with the person that you are with, if that makes sense. It just gets deep, and to me it's unfair, because, like, I still feel like I'm under attack. I just recently had a dream. Still can't get this person, like, out of my dreams, and it's so weird. Like, I've tried every fucking thing. I mean, every fucking, excuse my language, excuse my freaking language, but I tried everything. And I feel like getting into that situation was a massive curse for me, a massive wake-up call to why poly is not gonna work, why poly wouldn't work. It's too much jealousy. It's too much, you know, somebody has to be ahead of somebody due to ego. And, you know, if one person feels like they're receiving more, receiving less, it's gonna just be too much drama, you know. A lot of what I realized is, you know, they say it's generational wealth, you know, but those are people that just struggle, and they could be struggling because of the energies that they have attached to them, and they don't see that. I'm only saying this because every time I was in a relationship, even with them, it's like my finances will deplete. But as I'm by myself, I want for nothing, okay? Like, I want for nothing. I have nobody helping me with nothing. I'm a single parent that takes care of every motherfucking thing by myself, okay? And what is so another weird thing that stood out was around that time I was dating them. My child's father was coming in. He ain't came in since, but even was dating this girl who flew my son out. I feel like that was all surrounding the magic to appear like something that wasn't there, because my baby daddy ain't never been there. That ain't never happened. It ain't happened since, okay? But it was just weird, like a lot of weird different things as I go back and look what's happening. And I remember him saying little things to me like, you know, he didn't want to get close to me because, you know, he was told that I was like scared due to my traumas, my past. And I'm like, what? I ain't never told her. So I think like there was a lot of controlling going on behind our back because I wasn't wanted from her in the first place. You get what I'm saying? And it hurts because I have my son over there. I don't play when it comes to my baby. You know, we were like, I didn't, the first couple times, you know, I was filling them out. I didn't bring my son until, you know, I thought I knew we were going to be building something, right? And it just hurt me because, like, it's just, you know, it's just me and my son, and that kind of created a false hope even for my baby, you know. And that creates traumas for even children, you know. And I don't feel like my child, you know, was even thought about, you know. That was very selfish. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, very selfish, especially if you knew that you didn't like the woman, or you were insecure around the woman, or you felt like she can take your man, whatever it was, you know. I feel like it wasn't okay, you know. So I just want you guys, if you are thinking about, you know, being poly, when it comes to love, people will do crazy things. And at first, I was trying to figure out, like, why would she be doing all of this magic on me? And she's married. Like, she's not going nowhere. But some people, they are actually tapped in. And everybody's not tapped in on the godly side. Some people are tapped in on the darker end. And the devil will show them things, too, to stay or to keep somebody trapped or stuck. I hope this is making sense. And I felt like she knew something energetically. I remember, they want me to bring this up too. I remember he was telling me a story about a past that they were in a relationship with. And in this past relationship, I guess the woman they allowed to stay with them. I don't know if she didn't have her own spot or what. I had my own spot, so I would just come over on weekends, or they'll come over my spot. But I guess supposedly she was caught doing black magic. And I remember him telling me the story, and I was just like, something in my spirit. I didn't know how intuitive I was yet, but something in my spirit was like, nah, it ain't just her. Like, something was weird. Like, she was getting her out of there for a reason. Like, it's so crazy. It's so much that I get in my spirit. Like, something in my spirit tells me, like, she's the one who brung this on. Like, because it gives Jezebel. It definitely gives karmic. It gives Jezebel. It gives that they're married to a Jezebel. Family could be holding them together, and, you know, the kids, you know, a lot of people, when you have kids, they don't want to, you know, break, and it's definitely understandable. But I definitely feel like, because she was reading those tarot cards, and she knew other spiritual beings, and she was very like always into like deep, like at this time she was a little bit deeper than what I was in her spirituality. And I feel like she knew. I feel like she knew something, and she had to do what she could to like get me away, specifically with the astral projections of, you're not taking my husband. And I was literally in the midst trying to do a cord cutting and get this man out of my life. Like, I never linked up with this dude after that, or tried to link up, or had any, like, we didn't do, like, it wasn't nothing going on for all of these attacks and astral projections, and it's just wow. And what's crazy is I don't even think he knows she does all of this. That's what's crazy. I don't think he knows she astral projects or playing magic. I think he knows she does cards, but I don't think he knows she plays in dark magic and out here practicing astral projection, which is also a dark magic practice. You can't just enter into anyone's space. And if you ever enter into a chosen one's space, it's literally just for them to put some things together. It's never about you having an upper end and you just entered someone's space. No, that ain't what it is. But yeah, it's just crazy. I just feel like maybe getting this story out will break whatever spell is off of me, and maybe they, she can see it and she can see, like, I don't want your man, like, look, if that is a twin flame, or if that is, I could catch the motherfucking next lifetime. Look, the motherfucker already wore out 7, 8 kids in. No, let me stop. I'm just playing. But I'm vibrating high right now. I don't want to get dense and low vibrational. But I've prayed, and I prayed for them, I prayed for myself, and this is why I tell you guys to just be mindful if you are poly with the relationships you get into. Jealousy is a crazy demon that controls a lot of people's life. Insecurities, it all falls under jealousy, and this is why we have to heal. We must heal. We must go within and make sure we are healing. I just seen a cat. Anywho, we must heal, okay? I literally just seen a cat in my peripheral, and I don't have a cat in my house. What the freak? But yeah, that is my poly story. And another thing, it was so weird. Like that time when I told you the last day that I was ever there, I feel like he felt the tension, but he didn't go deep into it. He never minded, because I remember when he walked in from work, we were sitting at the table, and he was like, "Y'all good? Everything okay?" Like, looking around. I'm like, I'm good. Like my spirit just felt very happy, but she was like, Like, but it was like she was like closed off. She was distant that whole day. And then she made it seem like she was the only one cleaned up. She didn't say, "Oh yeah, true, cleaned up the front house. I cleaned up the back house." Like, and I had my own motherfucking house. I didn't have to clean up their house, But like a lot of those different things like stood out to me, after, during the time. I wasn't really paying attention because I was in the midst of it, like I would kind of get little downloads, kind of get little inklings, but it'd be like, nah, I'm tripping, But yeah, I feel like something happened. Like, I think it was like that birthday thing. I feel like something, like, I don't know if she was going to like another guru. And this is what I heard, that she was doing magic herself. And then she actually paid somebody else. I'm about to burp as a confirmation burp. Wow. But she actually paid somebody else to help with, excuse me, I told y'all that confirmation burp was fucking coming up. I get confirmation burps and I can feel it like right here. But anywho, oh my God. So yeah, like, I don't know why I want to do some wands. Like, is there a such thing as, okay, wait, do you mind showing me a solid yes, or do y'all not want to do this on camera? Let me know. We can do it on camera? Okay. Is there a such thing as a soul connection or divine connection, divine union? Okay. Is there any, if it is a divine union, can you get them out of your energetic field? No, no, no. Oh my God. Now it went backwards. Oh my God. What the frick is y'all doing? That is so sad. That is messed up. So yeah, um, that's what I felt like. I never really asked. I never really asked, but that's what I felt like. Oh shit. I just pray, that whatever was done, it can be lifted because I need to find my divine counterpart, or my divine counterpart needs to come to me. Um, I didn't pray. I didn't told God like I don't, because it would be a lot of drama. You know, it would be way too much drama, and I know it's so crazy because you know I know a lot of people, they think 3D and they're like, this person is married, you da 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 da. But I want you guys to understand that we made those decisions. And if we're not in tune with God, right, at the time that we make those decisions, we can make the wrong decisions and we can be caught up or get caught up with someone that we really, oh yeah, and then something happened, like my eyebrows, these are not my eyebrows, like they have never grown back the same. My eyebrows used to be like a little closer, and it was so weird. I remember going to go get my eyebrows done with this girl, and the lady like had me look like Ronald McDonald. Like I swear, I feel like it was the magic that was done. Y'all probably think I'm crazy, but nothing is a coincidence. Like I would never forget, my eyebrows still are. I still like it. Kind of changed. I'm still cute because I'm always be cute, but it literally shifted. Like my shape of my eyebrows. It was just a lot of weird things going on that has never happened to me. Um, but yeah, just be mindful, y'all. Get into those poly relationships because a lot of jealousy, a lot of envy, will arise. It'll be arguments, it'll be fights, it'll just be a lot of BS, a lot of BS. Um, but hopefully, getting this out to you guys will kind of raise y'all awareness. So I'm not poly anymore because I feel like it's a lot of people either trying to save their marriage. That's where I was going. Either trying to save their relationship, save their marriage, or that they're very promiscuous, got a lot of sex demons on them, or they can just be battling financially, right? Because they are not meant to be together, so their finances is going to be like this. Anytime you're connected with a karmic, you're not going to really elevate. You're going to get lose. Like that's just how it is, because of the attachments that are attached to those type of people. So yeah, it was a big wake up call, and it's so crazy because that is the only relationship where it's like she don't like. I remember just blocking them or deleting them on like Instagram and all that when they posted the other girl, but they never reached out. She never said she apologized. She said like it ain't been nothing. Like that's how I know everything from the astral projections to the dreams. Like she knew what she was doing. Like she knew, because why is it like I'm your enemy? You get what I'm saying? Like all of my other poly relationships, I can go hit up my home. I can go hit up K. I can go hit up G. I can go like I can hit them up like, and they're not like, well, we still cool. Like it wasn't no weird, but this relationship was. I don't know. It's like she turned me into the enemy. Like, and I ain't did nothing, and then posted a whole nother woman, not even 48 hours, which lets me know that y'all had to been dating this person while y'all was dating me, and y'all supposed to be a married couple that's not cheating on each other. Nah, you can't convince me, motherfucker. You can't convince me, motherfucker. It's definitely a whole lot of cheating going on because y'all couldn't even be together. You get what I'm saying? Like this is what I need y'all to think. Like if people can't be monogamous, what make you think that they can be a monogamous in a poly relationship? It's just gonna be a whole lot of infidelity going on. Like this is why we gotta heal, so we can really wake up, so we can really identify what the fudge is going on. Like I don't think people was really getting it, but here nor there. That was my poly message. I hope that y'all caught it, and I hope y'all listen without judgment, and y'all don't think, oh, she just hurt, she just mad, she just this, I promise y'all, nothing in this story I lied about. from the astral projections to the dreams to the feelings to everything, to be cord cutting him, seeing him walking down the street the next day. Mind you, it ain't like we stayed close. These motherfuckers stayed an hour and some change away from me. Let's talk about it. And I'm seeing this motherfucker walk down the street. Like, I don't think, like, it was just so much. Like, I'm still like, what the fuck? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm just trying to cut, snip, so I can have the life that because I feel like magic is still being done, and maybe they'll see it. Maybe she'll see, like, I'm not trying to take your husband. You can have that. Like, have it. Like, what's for me will always be for me, and I hope that, you know, whoever you are, you know the same for you. I hope, you know, we're not doing love spells or black magic spells or going against the will of God, because there is a price that you will have to pay for that. Okay, there is a price that you will have to pay, and always remember, as long as you move out of love, I'm talking that genuine, heart shaking, ground breaking, world stopping love, baby, we gonna always win. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.